Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's been a very long time since we have put out anything of sorts, and since that time we have put out. Since that time, a lot of stuff has happened regarding the cricketing circle when it comes to the international scene or the franchise scenes, and everything. And the most uh, viewed and the most updated everybody's waiting on is the IPL retention rule, which has been come out by in the last night, and there has been some really interesting rules and really new rules and very different types of rules that could actually make IPL auction really interesting and very exciting to watch. You know, as we all know, IPL auctions are way more popular and way more entertaining than the some of the IPL matches. That's the given fact. And second of all is that the this changes a lot of IPL in my opinion because uh, in a minute we will go through the rules, but I would like to hear Ajit's view on it. Because even he's also in a bit of a dilemma of what type of rules are there. He doesn't even remember the rules itself. So, Ajit, what's your overall on this view?
Um, More into the minute details, we can talk about that, but I'm not so well versed on that because it's just the news that which came in not too long ago. It's been like a day hardly, but I think with the way the retention rules have been shaped up, it's pretty clear as to why they've exactly done this, and it's going to be interesting to see what's in store for the next season. But yep, we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. But I think without further ado, I think we can get into the rules in itself. So this is the updated rules and or you can say the decisions that the BCC have taken. So the most awaited rule is that the IPL franchisees can retain a total of 6 players from the existing squad. This can be via retentions or using the right to match option. So hear me out. This rule is a very interesting rule, and and it further discussed in the second one. It says that it is at the discretion of the IPL franchise to choose their combination of retentions and RTMs. Like 6 retentions and RTMs can have a maximum of 5 cap players, Indian and overseas, with a maximum of 2 uncapped players. So in detail, if I would say, is that franchisees can retain up to 5 cap players, a maximum of 2 uncapped players that I've already mentioned. And if I would talk about the each of the retain cap, it is first retain player is 18 crores, second retain player is 14 crores, third retain player is 11 crores, fourth player retain player is 18 crores, and fifth player is 14 crores, which is very interesting. If you what is your take on this breakdown of each player having certain amount of money? First of all, what's your view on that, Ajit?
It's not something new, as in because it's kind of known that for a long time, as in like if you're going to retain someone first, then he'll get the maximum money and so on and so forth. So it's something that has been existing like that for a while. But again, they've broken this down like, you have to give them this X amount of money for people. Like shows that we are trying, like, as audience, as ourselves, we are able to understand that it's more like a priority basis thing where if you want someone, the guy, or who you want someone to be as a captain, then you're going to give him the most amount of money or something like that. So but that is on retention basis. Of course, once the auction gets done, then you never know because anybody can go for, I mean, since we saw that last season, we have Stark and Cummins go for like more than 20 crores. So that will also happen. But again, with the whole uncapped and capped players and what have you, so essentially it's like 6 players, but then you can retain at max 5 capped players and 2 uncapped. So which means that if you, it's in combination where you have 5 capped players and then 1 uncapped, or you have 4 capped players and 2 uncapped. So in that way, 6 players, you can have your retentions. And also, it didn't mention that whether do you need to have a minimum of one Indian player retained, or you can have all of them
No,
can
no,
be
no. There's no
overseas. Is
limit
it
this time. There's no limit for
so?
overseas. It's no limit.
So that's the thing. So it's in a way designed that, okay, if you want to have your core players and everyone are overseas, then might as well you can do the same thing. But while you go to
I
the
think that is
auction, then
advantage for SRH. SRH has a big
yeah,
advantage on that.
But we all
And
know why exactly. But we all know why exactly this has happened, though. For
yeah, yeah.
getting an uncapped players and everything, we all know exactly
I know, I know.
why this
We'll come to
happens.
that. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. But there are some certain scenarios I will say, because especially that the fourth and the fifth the retain rule, eight because the fourth player will get 18 crores, and the fifth will get the 79 14 crores. And what happens now is that that tool indirect will create a bit of a that shows that the IPL franchise should be very smart in terms of how you allocate money for certain players and how many players
Allocate
you need
money.
to allocate. Because there could be this feeling that they might retain only okay three cap players and one uncapped player. They don't want to retain every team. Like suppose for example, if I say the case of or KKR, I'll give an example. KKR, if they retain like say someone like Shreyas Iyer, uh, Varun Chakrathi, Sunil Narayan, they would have covered up at least around 18 plus 14, 32, 43 crores. They would have covered up. If they want to retain
Mm-hmm.
the fourth player, they suppose someone like Harshit Rana or someone like maybe a Mitchell Stark or Andre Russell, you have to pay a lot extra money for that. And while if you use all the five RTMs, you may have one more RTM. Sorry, if you
No,
retain all
five
the five
retentions.
five retentions, what happens now is that you would lose 79 crores, and with the option of going for 41 crores in the auction, sometimes the teams may not have that much amount of money to buy that player that they want. So I feel indirectly that the teams has to be smarter in terms of the retention, how they pick the retention, and how much of money do you want to go into the auction for building whole squad, because we're losing because using 79 crores on most of your retained players, you don't have that extra money for building an entire squad. So I think that's something that the franchise needs to be smart on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you
Yeah.
tell me.
No, no,
and
nothing much. I
and
thought
one
it's
more thing,
yeah.
as I said, there's an RTM rule is also has been put in place, but there's a twist in the RTM rule. It says there's another way to. This is where I have to keep referring back and forth in whatever I'm reading. So there's another twist in RTM. It says that another way to reacquiring the existing player via RTM option during above mentioned is that the number of RTMs in possession of a team will be a function of simple arithmetic function. If a franchise retain three players, they have three RTMs. Okay, that is fine. If they want to retain three players, they can have three RTMs. That's good. However, BCCI has introduced a substantial change in the way RTM option can be played, where the previously the team could simply agree the match the highest bid amount at that auction to claim the player. This time around, the highest bidder will be given one final opportunity to further raise the bid before the team holding the RTM claim for this player. Like there's an example they're given. If Ravichandran Ashwin is being auctioned and RCB has placed a bid of 6 crores, then
Mm-hmm.
Rajasthan Royals will be asked if they wish to exercise their RTM. If Rajasthan agrees, provided if they have that RTM, if Rajasthan agrees, if they agree to put a bid, if they wanted to use that RTM,
If they want to use
RCB
RTM, yeah.
if they want to use the RTM, what happens now is that RCB has a chance to increase the bid from 6 crores to 9
Mm.
crores.
Oh, that's
Then, yes, then RR can use their RTM and resend Ashwin for 9 crores. So that is very interesting. So if someone like Ashwin goes for 6 crores, the team that has bought that player, that team can raise the bid. That is a very that is an interesting dynamic actually, to be honest.
basically
And
you're trying to sabotage every other team by doing so because it's
exactly. Yeah, you want to be
because you have a cap set for like 120 crores. And for example, if
120, to be honest.
someone is like, they
120.
want to get their RTM in, they want to try to get back a player from the auction by using their RTM. So let's say that I know it's a bit outrageous, but let's say that Travis Head, for example, if he's going for 10 crores, and if Sunrisers Hyderabad want to use their RTM, so, but that's what they wanted to. They would have a range. Like, let's say that I want to get him from the auction by using my RTM anywhere. If he goes anywhere between 6 to 10 crores, let's say that a team like Punjab or Delhi have got a bid, and they got to 10 crores. Then SRH can use their RTM, but at the same time, Delhi is also like we want to increase it to 15 crores. or 17
Mm.
crores, for example,
Yes, yes,
they
yes,
can do that. Might as well do that. And what happens is
yes.
that you've spent more money, but you wanted to spend this much because you wanted to buy other players from the auction. But again, if you basically have a team who has given the bid, but the team who already had that player before want to use their RTM. Basically they're trying to sabotage, saying that okay, you increase the bid, and
And I want to
good luck
exhaust the
using
money.
your purse to purchase other players, because we are trying to sabotage your team so that you'll have lesser chances of qualifying again because of the auction that we've
Exactly,
done,
bro.
and
I
it
like
will be very difficult to construct a team.
I know, bro. I love this rule, dude. I'll be honest. I love this rule. This is a fantastic rule, bro. It gives the opportunity for the bidding team to really increase the price.
Basically, stick
Sometimes
it up
not
to them.
stick it up.
Stick it up. Hey,
So,
hey.
so that in order so that that franchise which has the RTM, they might be forced to pay extra money for that. So that also is also a very good strategy because before and all you've seen before and all you have seen that if a player has gone to a certain price, that certain price itself you can use the RTM. But this time now the bidding team has the opportunity to raise the price as much they want.
Hmm.
But I don't know about
Oh
whether how
boy.
much. Yeah, but I don't know how much can you raise it is something that is not very clear. But this
I
could be
mean,
a very
those
game.
we'll get to know that once the auction comes in. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah,
need
yeah.
to elaborate too much on that. But
I
right
know.
now
We
it's
don't need to.
understood that's how it is,
Yes,
and
yes.
yeah, the way it is. Ooh, and
Yeah, yeah,
also it's that the total salary cap in
yeah.
that rule,
Yeah.
whenever it's given, it's the total salary cap is like auction purse plus incremental performance pay was what
I know.
110 crores,
There's
which will
increase
now
on
be
that. Yes, I'll come to that. I'll come to that. So, as we know that the auction purse has been set for 120 crores. I think previously it was 90 crores, 100 crores.
which is a
But
big
now
increase actually.
So now it's 120 crores, big increase. The total salary cap will consist of incremental performance pay and perform match fees. The total salary cap will be incremental rate was 110, 110, 146, 151. Oh my god. So basically it'll be in 2025 it was 110. Now it is 120, 2025. Then it'll be 146 in 2025, 151 in 2026, 157, 2027. So that means it is the prices keeps increasing on a yearly basis. That is very interesting.
Inflations,
Inflation,
inflations.
exactly, it's inflation. Another one, I think this is where you are very interested. A match fee has been introduced for the first time in the history of IPL. Each playing member, including the impact player, will get a matching fee of 7.5 lakhs per match. This will be addition to his contracted amount. Okay,
Mm,
that is
ooh,
interesting. I think
very interesting.
I think that is a fair way of rewarding players who have not got a lot of money in the auctions, but by their
Yeah,
performances, like by bonuses and some extra money for what they have performed. I think this is a very good move from the
and it's for
BCCI.
both. I mean, it's not just restricted for. I mean, it's for every player that is
It's for
has
every player.
restrictions.
It's I feel it's a very I mean it's a
I
good
like
rule
this
to
one
come.
actually, as a matter of
It's
fact,
a
because
very good rule.
even the overseas player who, let's say that a player who just got for like 2 crores from the auction, two
Yeah, yeah,
crores from the auction, and if he plays, let's say that for just for the sake of just for the sake of giving an example, let's say that he plays 17 games, which includes 14 league stage matches and three playoff or two playoff games. Let's just put three playoff games, for example. Let's say that he
two
plays
playoffs and
eliminator
one
qualifier
final.
to infinite.
Two playoffs and one final.
Or
It's good.
yeah, or okay, for let's put it as 16 then. Let's put it as let him play qualify one, if they wins and he goes to final. So let's say he plays 16 matches. So essentially he'll get 7.5 lakhs a match. So
Yeah.
you times that by 16. Oh, that's something else, man. Especially you'll get like around 100 and more than around 100 lakhs or something like that, which is good though. It's
Yeah,
like a,
it's
let's say
around
that he goes for 2 crores, and he'll get 2.1
12,
crores
12
by the
crores,
time
bro.
it's over.
It's 12 crores, to
Huh?
be honest. It goes to 1.2 crores, if I'm being honest. It's 1.2 crores, yeah. It's going 12 crores, actually.
Yeah, something like that. So
It's
that's a lot.
crazy. That's a lot of money. Damn.
And also the other one, which any overseas player will have to register, and if they don't
Yes,
register, they're not eligible. Oh,
yes.
this was the one rule which has been rumored a lot, and
I
they
know.
finally put it on.
Yes.
I think this is going to
Yes, yes,
impact a
yes.
lot of the overseas
Yes,
players,
yes, yes.
man.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it says that
Ooh.
any overseas player will have to register big auction. In any case, overseas player doesn't register, he will be ineligible to register in the following year's players auction, next year's playing auction. And any player who registers in the player auction after getting picked at the auction makes himself unavailable before the start of season will get banned from participating in the tournament and the player auction for 2 seasons. This is a
Oh, wow.
significant rule. This is a
Which was
significant rule.
rumored around for a long
Yeah, it
time.
is rumor
Especially
around.
the
Yes.
Rule 5 and 6 has been rumored for a long time. But again, this does not explain further. Like, if suppose if that same overseas player is injured in the middle of the season,
No, no,
and
no. Middle of the season is not counted, bro. If it's start of the season,
no, no, I'm
if I
saying start. Okay, okay, not the middle of the season. Let me correct that. Let's say if he
before the
gets
start of
before
the
the start
IPL.
of the season, before the start of the IPL, if he gets injured, then
No, there's an
if he's
exception.
legit
There's an
injured,
exemption.
then I
There's an
think
exemption actually. Exemption to be made
mm,
granted in the event of any injury or medical condition that needs to be confirmed by the home board. So that means if suppose for example someone like Mark Wood, who's in my honest opinion one of the most injury prone players ever I've ever watched.
okay,
I know that's a
fine,
fact.
whatever.
It is a fact. He gets injured before the IPL after being bought in the franchise. The ECB will have to confirm this to BCCI about the injury, like maybe sharing the medical documents and all that stuff, medical reports, to
Yep.
actually show not only to the BCCI but also to the franchise who has bought Mark Wood. So that also is something that is also a very good rule because teams have made time and effort to create a team and structure by having certain combinations and and they bought players with the view of okay this player will be a huge part of this franchise throughout the IPL and if he doesn't turn up then the whole plan will go haywire then they have to find replacements. So I feel this is a very
Mm.
fair rule. I think
Yeah, it's fair.
this does reward this will really put pressure on some of the overseas players and they will not take this very lightly. This shit should not
Yeah.
be taken very lightly because there's a tendency of overseas players now they don't get a very good price in the auction. They tend to skip the IPL the last month. They withdrawn from class. There's a certain name that I don't want to mention, uh, who's a common culprit of skipping IPLs. I don't need to mention. There are two players, there are two three players I can have in my mind. But I think that's a very good role, just for the basis of, as I said and as I mentioned, that gives it it favors the franchise a lot more because of the hard work and effort they have put in place to set up the team, viewing the combinations and picking players on certain conditions and combination all that stuff. And if the player doesn't turn up, then it's very hard for them to find replacements. So
Yep.
that's my point. What's your point?
I mean, I don't have anything else to add on that because you've pretty much said everything about it, literally. I mean, it's like I said previously, it's been rumored for a while that this is going to be one of those big rules that it's going to happen, and the whole retention rules and everything. And I know it's been a long time coming. These rules, it's been like it's going to come short very soon, very soon. It's been like 1 or 2 months delayed, but I mean, it's been made pretty clear, and also the last two rules that which you're showing it. The one here is a capped Indian player will become uncapped if they haven't played any international cricket or they're not a part of a central contract for 5 years, which is only applicable for Indian players only, which is given that. Well, this we know
Hmm,
that why exactly they've done this, and
exactly.
or pretty much the whole. And pretty much not just for rules number 7, but for first two rules as well. Like
There's a reason why they
first
put
two
it in the
rules.
seventh rule. There's a reason why they put in the seventh rule. Seven.
Exactly. Tala for a reason.
That's for a
I
reason,
mean, man,
bro.
it looks clear, man, because if Dhoni is not going to be in the IPL, I mean, come on, the
I know. Yes, yes,
you
yes,
know
yes.
exactly what's going to happen. This is something that we've briefly discussed in
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
videos, and if folks want to know which video I'm talking about, we'll put a link down in the description
Yeah, yeah,
mentioning
sure.
which one it is because we've discussed that in very big detail as to what that was about. It's a simple thing, man. If your big draws, your big stars are not there, and if the stars of the future are not as big of a draw as the stars who have been in the past and who are also still big stars now. For example, like Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, and Rohit Sharma. I mean, essentially the whole number seven rule is for for Dhoni himself because I mean it's pretty clear. He pretty much I think made clear that depends on the retention rules and everything, and
Yeah,
if the
he
retention
said
rules
it.
favor him and the team for them to rebuild, then he will be in. Otherwise, he would retire. Maybe essentially that we would have regularly the mega auctions, the retention rules essentially like three retentions and two RTMs, four or five players in maximum to retain. You have certain limits for overseas players, you have limits for Indian players or whatever, like however you want to say it, but it's very limited amount of players would be retained or be bought back using RTM. But now they're trying to make it a bit more flexible and also try to get that rule back. I know that whole uncapped player rule. If a certain Indian player, a former international player who hasn't played
I
for
think this is
India for
also
5 years.
this also applies for certain players also. Like Mohit Sharma, I think last he played for India was around 2015. It's been almost 8 or 9
No,
years.
I mean you can bring in other players, man. But come on, you know exactly who's
That
this
is for
rule
Dhoni.
for. You do
That
I
is
need
for
to?
Dhoni. No. I want to be very neutral and not biased. I want to bring in other players
This
just for
is
the.
not bias or anything, man. This rule is so clear as in
It is so clear. I
it's
know
so
it
clear
is
as to
clear.
what exactly is
It is
happening,
for
man.
Dhoni.
I'm
Look,
also being
look,
neutral, saying that
look.
it's at the end of the day, man. It's about the revenue you have to
See,
generate.
see. Dhoni doesn't
That's
need
how you have
IPL.
this. That's the reason why you have this total salary cap increase because
Yes.
the more
No,
revenue you
he
can
gets
get.
only 4 crores.
Otherwise,
The thing is that he's going to get only 4 crores. That's all. The cap line because he see like let's be real. Dhoni doesn't need IPL. He has proved everything. He has won everything.
IPL needs Dhoni. That's it.
IPL
Dhoni
needs
doesn't
Dhoni.
need IPL. IPL
IPL
needs
needs
Dhoni.
Dhoni.
End of story.
Exactly.
We don't need to elaborate
They,
too much
they
on that. That's all.
they need him for the TRPs. They need for the fans. They need for all that stuff. Dhoni doesn't need
Everything,
money.
man.
Dhoni doesn't need money. He has earned enough.
Of
He can earn money through
course.
ads and sponsors and everything. He has enough. He just wants to appear in the IPL for entertainment of fans. 4 crores is nothing for him. He has earned big money in the past. He just needs to come in and simply appear in the IPL, pay for the franchise which he loves, get a good
All he
farewell.
has to do is just do wicket keeping, just be in the field. Even if he doesn't bat, it's not a matter at
Exactly.
all.
Even if he
Actually, if you look
bats,
at it,
he only bats for maximum of 5 to 10 balls. That's all. That is his role.
I mean,
It is
yeah.
pretty good.
I
It
mean,
is
his
pretty.
body condition is like that. He couldn't like. We just watched the whole season of him. We saw him bat as much as we were able to see. I mean, he couldn't run basically.
No, you see,
We all know
look,
how fast he could run and everything, but it was
he
very
can't. I
difficult.
mean,
It
he
was
still
somewhat a
fights.
bit.
He's still fit. He's still fit because let's be
He's
real.
still
His
fit. Don't
performance.
get me wrong. I'm not
See,
saying that he's not fit, but his injuries are and his
yeah.
everything else is that. So plus he's also like what, more than 40 years old. So
He's 40.
and
He's
of
going to.
course, the very rule that most of the people disliked, all the all-rounders especially had a problem with all
Uh,
that. The impact
yeah,
player
yeah, yeah.
regulation will continue until like
Yeah, yeah.
2027. I
Uh,
mean, as of now,
but
it's
before
the
I
whole
come before
2025
coming to
to.
the impact player, I just want to say something about Dhoni. Dhoni will
Yeah,
play.
go ahead.
His performance is there. He's still fit,
Of course,
even though he has certain injuries here and there, and which is limiting him to play bigger role. But
of course.
he he can play 14 games, 14, 15 games. That's enough. So
I
that's
mean, I'm not
benefits.
saying that he can't play or anything. He's still
So
fit
that's what I'm.
and all, but it's
Yes,
just
yes.
that injuries have really hampered a lot. That's why if you see Dhoni, he is bulked up so much. He want to make sure that he pretty much be just
He's
a big hitter. Try to play
big
10
hitter.
balls.
That's all.
Try to score as much as he can by just hitting boundaries. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's
clear
all.
as it is, and of course, the whole. I want to get into that impact play rule and
Yeah,
all that.
we'll get into the impact player. Yeah, we'll get into the impact player. I think I wasn't surprised at all with this impact player rule to be
Me
continued,
neither.
of course.
I
But
wasn't surprised at all.
I do feel that impact player rule should not be there. Personal opinion because it is hampering the development of Indian all-rounders. I think you mentioned it earlier. Because
Not just Indian all-rounders, pretty much all-rounders everywhere.
yeah, all-rounders in general, man. Because all-rounders will give you that flexibility and the balance, man. You can use them at any
But
point of
again,
time.
man,
So
it's more catered to entertainment. It's catered to get excitement, because us, or like cricket fans like me and you who have watched a lot of cricket for a long time, and it's kind of odd and it's kind of spoiled and boring to see that at some point teams scoring 240 runs left, right, and center. It's I mean, it's just the rule, and it's like who's going to care about that? ICC is not going to step in and say like don't put impact rule and anything. It's just IPL is BCCA. It's independent of it, so
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
just entertainment as such, and that's how it is. So, but I'll
yeah.
say this, that the more impact rule it's stays, I think there is a we might see all rounders or teams, or bowlers, they can adapt to it, because as much as it is, it's not going to last too much, even though the impact rule will be there. But I don't see this whole 250 run scores will last for a long time. It's maybe another season or so. This
I think
whole
some of these
the
multi,
runs
some
galore
of
is going to last, but
see
I
some
don't.
of these.
But bowlers will find a way out as to
Yeah, that's what
how
that
they can play
that's what
through this.
that's what I'm trying. That's what I was about to say. That the multi-utility cricketers, if they really want to be in the side, they have to specialize in one of the skill set. That's the main thing. Like someone like
Hmm.
Washington Sundar, who's primarily he's also an all-rounder, but primarily he's a bowler. He has to improve his bowling so much that he has to um, get a spot in the playing level. He doesn't get a spot in any team whatsoever,
I
in my
mean,
opinion.
he is a batsman. As far as we both know, he's primarily a batsman
He can
who's
bat.
turned himself into a bowler.
I know he is. He has the capability of batting, but teams are looking at him as a all round, as a bowler. He's
Yeah,
a proper
that is
power
true.
play bowler who could bowl a couple of overs in the power play. But if he really wants to get into the team, he has to improve his bowling. And same way for the batters, Sukaho. Same way for the someone like Shivam Dube. He has to further improve his batting in order to keep himself relevant. Of course, he has done really well in 2 seasons with the impact player role. He has done really well with the bat and he has made a huge impact. But still, teams, the opposition, the bowlers, they'll find ways to make him out. Already they have started to put ball bounces or put out different field settings and bowl certain length, and they'll get exposed. And that's what I say. The all rounders, they have to have they have to be very strong on one skill set to be surviving in the playing 11. If we have other additional, that's a bonus. But I don't think the teams will be looking at it, because if they have the impact player role, why do you need to have the additional skill set? You have to be good at one thing. That's how it is.
I mean, yeah,
It is
but
only all rounders. If complete all rounders are very rare, and that shows even complete all rounders are very rare in pieces. Like quality all rounders like Hardik Pandya or Andre Russell or Ravindra Jadeja or Sunil Narayan, Aksar Patel. These are the even Cameron Green, if I add Ben Stokes. These are proper all rounders where it is you find in scarcity, the demand is very high, supply is low, price is high, so they get the huge premium.
yep,
So
that's. I
so
mean, you're
that's
pretty
what I,
much right on that. But
and
again,
yeah,
I think this whole impact rule will still stay, and regardless of whether it's there or not, I think the bowlers will find ways to adapt to it. Though it
yeah,
is, I don't see, it's like, I know it's more of an aberration than what happened this past season, where you had the whole IPL pretty much had a run rate of like 9.4 runs to 9.4 or 10 runs and over for a whole IPL season. That's like more than, like 74 matches, more than hundreds and hundreds of overs of bowling. And you've seen pretty much every other bowler gone for like 9-10 runs and over, with the exception of Bumrah and some other spinners. But I mean, that's pretty much it for the retention rules and everything. It's apart from the very few big changes or whatever you see, and we all know why they have done this. But I think it's pretty much standard for
I know,
all
I
of
know.
it. So I
But
think it's pretty much it for the retention rules.
one last thing I like to say about the impact player. I think what Ashwin said in I think Chika's video actually was absolutely right. I Having an impact player role allows innovations. It allows different strategies and different
That's
tactics,
true.
and that is
Yeah,
something
that's very true. I agree on that.
I agree with him. I think that it allows you to build up, get some new tactics, innovates a new something or the other, which could be very interesting. And Ashwin being himself
Yeah,
the astute tactician himself, he also
which
will
is true.
find something or the other. So I would say, in a way, it's not a bad thing at all. But of course, majority of the people will say it will hurt India of making all rounders that is there. But it is what it
I
is. I think
mean,
that's
not
something.
really, but not exactly. But I mean, even if you look at the international squads, India are picking, they're trying to pick more multi-utility players.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it's nothing much to add on it. But again,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
the impact rule is still going to continue. That's pretty much end of it, and we'll see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens the next season. Can't wait for the auction, man, because it's always the
I know,
most
I know.
exciting time of the year. So
I love
Yeah.
auctions.
So what else we
I
are going to talk
always
about
look
now
forward
then?
to. I In the last couple of years, I always uh, watch from start to finish. What the auction. That's how entertaining it is. I.
Same.
It's more interesting than some of these IPL games. Even like, brutally honest, the last year's auction is way more entertaining than the final in itself. IPL final itself. It
I
is
can
that.
agree with that. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with that.
That's why I can't wait. I can't wait for the retention itself. I think it's coming out around 31st of October. So one
I
month left
can't
for
wait to
the
see
final.
what they're going to do.
Yeah, yeah,
But we can talk about that separately as to like what
yeah,
are
yeah,
who are the probable who are the possible retentions, and then we can talk about like who they've actually retained.
yeah.
So yeah, and let's go.
It is very confusing, bro. We know which team is going to find it more difficult. Which team? The drama always follows there. Mumbai
I'm up for
Indians.
that.
Mumbai Indians. They have the huge headache.
Oh man, we don't
Okay,
need to
in
speculate too much on that now, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll eat up more time on this anyway.
Yeah,
But
we'll eat up.
anyway, I
Okay,
know
anyway,
exactly what it is.